Bride Price by Buchi Emecheta, Chapter 11, Too Good to be True? Ben Adego was an old school friend of Chike's. They had written to each other regularly, and Ben knew about Chike's feelings for Aku-nna. It was Ben who had suggested a job for Chike with the oil company at Ueli, where Ben was the head teacher at the local school. Ben knew that the oil company needed bright young men, and he also promised to get Aku-nna a teaching job in his school. "You and your bride can have my old hut until you find somewhere better," he had written to Chike. "I've bought a new house with a tin roof." Ben Adego was a small, strong, dark man who loved to talk and argue. His wife, Rose, who was small and dark too, was a teacher at the same school, and she was expecting their first child. They welcomed Chike and Aku-nna kindly and showed them the hut with its 3 large rooms and its wide, airy veranda. They lent them some furniture, then left the young couple alone. Chike and Aku-nna stood and looked at each other. "Will you marry me?" Chike whispered. "Where you go, I go," said Aku-nna. Like small, excited children, they began to count their money. Chike's father had encouraged him to run away with Aku-nna and had given them a wedding present of £100. "I've never seen so much money before," whispered Aku-nna, staring at Chike's £100. "He was going to use it to pay for me to go to the university," said Chike. "And you changed your plans?" "Universities don't run away. I'll go when I'm ready. Just now I'm too busy. Guess what father said when he gave me this money?" "Did he tell you to pay my bride price with it?" asked Aku-nna with trembling lips. He took her in his arms. "Don't worry, my father will pay the bride price in good time. He will give Okonkwo double whatever he asks. But that isn't all. Nnamdi must come and live with us and get a proper education. Also, we must send a little money to your mother so that she can be independent." "Oh, will you do all that for me? I'll serve you until I die. I'll be a good wife to you. I'll always love you and love you, in this world and the next world, until the end of time." He kissed her hair. "People will say you're marrying me because of my money." "Oh no, not because of that. Because of so many, many things. How can I name them all? Because of the way you look at me, because of your kindness and understanding." Chike held her tight. They had very little sleep after their night's adventures, but now they forgot their tiredness. Chike wanted to go to town to do some shopping, and Aku-nna wanted to go with him. "My father gave me this money to buy something special. I'll buy it today, and tonight we'll christen it," he told her. The something special was a lovely new English bed with a wonderfully soft mattress. Aku-nna clapped her hands with excitement when she saw it. But their shopping did not end with the bed. Chike bought sheets, curtains, cooking pots and plates, and even a small oil stove. Aku-nna had never seen anything like them before. He also bought her 2 beautiful new skirts. Thank you," she said again and again. They loaded everything onto a lorry, and on the way home, Chike asked the driver to stop at the offices of the oil company. "I'll only be away 10 minutes, he said. "I want to tell them that I'm in Ueli and available for an interview." Chike was away half an hour and came back looking pleased and proud. "Sorry to keep you waiting," he said to the driver. To Aku-nna, he said, "I start work in 5 days' time." Aku-nna could not believe it. Everything has been too easy for us, she thought. It's too good to be true. Dear God, don't let anything happen to destroy our joy. Chike gave the driver a bottle of whiskey, and the driver wished them a long and happy marriage. When they unloaded the new bed in front of their new home, the driver poured a little whiskey over the mattress. "There, I have christened your bed," he said, "but you'll do it properly tonight when you're alone." Then Chike's friend Ben Adego came along and joined in the fun. "So you're christening the bed," he said. "What are you going to call it?" Aku-nna burst out laughing. "Who ever heard of christening a bed?" she said. But Ben was suddenly serious. He asked God to look kindly on his friend's marriage, give them a happy life together with many children. "Now I christened this bed Joy." But to Chike's surprise, lovemaking did not come easily to them. At first, Aku-nna tried to avoid it. First, she wanted a bath. Then, she wanted to listen to their new radio. Always, she found some excuse. As for Chike, he was worried. When he had rescued her from Okoboshi, everything had seemed so easy. No matter what they have done to her, I will still marry her, he thought, even if she is expecting Okoboshi's child. He had discussed it with his father, and the old man had given him some good advice. Never blame a woman for something that happened in the past, he had said. It's the future that matters. But now Chike was anxious. Aku-nna seemed so frightened and worried. He wondered what they had done to her that night, and if she was still a virgin, but he did not want to ask her. At last, however, Aku-nna told him her story. She told him that she was a virgin and that she had told lies to Okoboshi to get away from him. I have been saving myself for you, she said shyly. Please help me to give you joy. Chike was surprised and delighted. My darling, he said, your people must know of this. They must be told that you are innocent. My father must be told too. How happy they will all be. Is that necessary? Said Aku-nna. You know the truth and that's all that matters. Just give them their bride price in peace. You know what they say, if the bride price is not paid, the bride will die in childbirth. Aku-nna stopped for a moment. I love you, Chike, she said softly. Please teach me. And the beautiful new bed became a place of joy for them both. Chapter 12. The Unpaid Prize. In Ibuza, there was no joy for Aku-nna's family. As soon as Okoboshi realized that Aku-nna had escaped with his enemy, he lied to his parents. I slept with her, he said, and she was no virgin, but I cut off a piece of her hair, so now she belongs to me. He produced the piece of hair to prove his story. His action caused some bitter arguments, and many people became really angry with Chike's family. Who are they, people said, to destroy the life of an innocent young girl? She will never come home to Ibuza now. But, said an old man, as long as Okonkwo does not accept any bride price from Ofulwe, the girl still belongs to Okoboshi. No one can possibly expect a slave to behave like a free man, and no one can blame the girl if a slave runs off with her. The argument went on, and everyone spoke against Chike's family. Who are they, people said, to destroy the life of an innocent young girl? She will never come home to Ibuza now. But, said an old man, as long as Okonkwo does not accept any bride price from Ofulwe, the girl still belongs to Okoboshi. No one can possibly expect a slave to behave like a free man, and no one can blame the girl if a slave runs off with her. The argument went on. Everyone spoke against Chike's family. Ofulwe did not fear for his own life, but he sent all the girls of the family away for a while. However, the people took their revenge in another way. Years before, when Ofulwe left his job as a head teacher, he had bought some land in Ibuza. He had planted trees there and looked after them well. Now, one morning, he woke up and found that all his trees had been cut down. The shock hurt the old man badly, and he was sure that Okoboshi's family, the Obidis, were responsible. Ofulwe's sons were very angry, so together they collected enough money to take the Obidi family to law. Everyone in Ibuza spoke against the Ofulwe family, but the white man's law did not understand about slaves and free men, so the Obidi family were found guilty, and the free men had to plant new trees for the slaves and pay a large sum of money too. The Obidi family hated the Ofulwe family more than ever after that, and naturally they saw Okonkwo's family as the cause of their misfortune, since Aku-nna was Okonkwo's responsibility. All this had a very bad effect on Okonkwo, who felt that Aku-nna had behaved very badly and brought shame on the whole village. He became very ill, but the medicine men were very unsympathetic. What do you expect? They demanded. All this is your own fault. Okonkwo forgot about becoming a chief. He was fighting for his life and the life of his family. He blamed Mablaki for his troubles, and he took his revenge by divorcing her. After that, of course, everyone blamed Aku-nna. In Ibuza, if you wanted to destroy someone, You made a little doll exactly like that person. Then you pushed a sharp needle into the doll's heart. The magic usually worked. The enemy died slowly and painfully. Ma Blackie was sad but not surprised when one day she saw a little doll in Okonkwo's hut. The doll had Aku-nna's face and there was a needle through its heart. She cried quietly for her daughter. Chike and Aku-nna had sent a secret message to Ma Blackie asking her to send her son Nnamdi to Ueli to live with them. Soon too, the Ofulwe family started sending Ma Blackie 2 whole pounds every month, which made her completely independent. I will pay a medicine man to destroy Okonkwo's magic, she thought. Then my daughter will be safe. In Ueli, Aku-nna and Chike were wonderfully happy. After their wedding in the white man's church, they moved to a small house of their own, quite near Ben and Rose Adego. Aku-nna was teaching in the local school and Nnamdi was doing well and growing like a young tree. The lorry driver who had christened their bed was now a useful friend and helper. Chike was training to become a manager of the oil company and they had plenty of money. Aku-nna was not always happy, however, sometimes there was a shadow of sadness on her face and Chike knew that she was thinking about her bride price. Chike's family wanted to pay it, but Okonkwo refused to accept the money. "No girl in my family shall be the bride of a slave," he said angrily. "Don't worry," Ofulwe wrote to his son. "I'll offer them more this time, and sooner or later they will accept." Chike told Aku-nna this bad news as gently as he could. She cried a little because she knew that until the bride price was paid, her family would not recognize the marriage, and she was worried. Ofulwe soon learned about Okonkwo's little doll. He wrote and told Chike, but told him not to mention it to Aku-nna. It's only an old native tradition. If Aku-nna knows nothing about the doll, it cannot harm her. One day, Chike came home from work and found Nnamdi waiting for him. "Where is Aku-nna?" demanded Chike. Usually, she came running to greet him. "She came back early from school with a headache," said Nnamdi. "She's asleep now." Aku-nna looked very small and childlike on the big bed. Nnamdi was growing every day, but his sister looked smaller and thinner than ever. She got tired very easily too. Chike went and sat down on the bed beside her. He touched her burning hot forehead. She opened her eyes and said, "I'm sorry I wasn't there to welcome you home. I don't feel very well." "Is it that other pain?" he asked gently. "No, I haven't had that since Christmas." "But that was 3 months ago, my love. Are you going to have a baby?" "Perhaps," she laughed. "Mrs. Adego said the same thing this afternoon when she brought me home from school. I hope she's right because I want to have your baby. Would you like that too?" Of course. With her feverish head on his shoulder, he talked to her about the baby. "What shall we call our son?" he asked her. "Will you be very disappointed if it's a girl?" asked Aku-nna. "Not at all, but then people will talk. You know what people say about girl babies? They say girls are love babies. Their parents make love day and night. I want our love to be private." Aku-nna laughed. "I'll ask God for a girl then, and another one after that. Then everyone will know just how much we love each other. I'll have a son when you're 40. "You're a bad girl," he kissed her. Then he questioned her. Her tiredness worried him. Was it because of the baby or because of her busy life? He decided that she ought to see a doctor. The doctor at the oil company examined Aku-nna. "Yes, she's going to have a baby," he said. "She must stop work and eat plenty of good food. Mr. Ofulwe, your wife is very young and small. Is she 16 yet?" "Yes," said Chike. He felt suddenly very guilty. "Will she be all right?" "Oh yes, but you both must be very careful. She isn't strong." Chike drove his wife home from the doctor's office in his new car. He drove badly and seemed annoyed with everything and everybody. Aku-nna wondered what the matter was, but she was too tired to talk. She fell asleep in the back of the car. Aku-nna's wish to continue working was the cause of their first argument. "I want to work because you are sending money to my family," she said. Chike pushed her away. "You mean you want to continue working until your bride price is paid?" he said unkindly. "Why don't you say that?" How many hours a day do you spend thinking about your family? You think about them so much you forget about me. Don't you care about me? What if you become ill? Too ill to look after our child? Listen, I'll make sure that your bride price is paid and you're not going to die and leave me. Do you understand? At the mention of dying, Aku-nna was afraid. Am I going to die? She thought. Did the doctor say that? Aloud, she said, Please tell me the truth. Did the doctor say I was going to die? Is that why you were so unhappy on the way home? He took her in his arms. No, he didn't say anything like that. I was just expressing my own fears. But he did say we have to be careful. You must rest. Dearest, I don't want anything to happen to you. You mean so much to me. Chapter 13. Joy. Soon, Aku-nna was glad to stay at home. The baby was giving her a very bad time. In the early months, she was sick every morning and unable to eat. Even in the 6th month, she still could not enjoy her food. She hated to cause her young husband so much worry. Chike remained gentle and loving with her, but his eyes were large and anxious. He paid a local girl to clean the house and do the cooking. Take it easy, he said to Aku-nna. Read as much as you like and eat plenty of good food. Chike's eldest brother, who was a doctor, visited them and examined Aku-nna. She's not strong, he told Chike. What's the matter with her? Demanded Chike. Most girls in Ibuza have babies very early. Why is it so hard for my wife? She's getting weaker every day. Don't worry. We can always take her into the hospital for an operation and save both her and the child. And do remember that many native girls die in childbirth too. Your wife didn't get enough of the right food when she was young. She's 16, but she looks like a 14-year-old. You were wrong to give her a child so early, brother. Chike gave a short, bitter laugh. We didn't plan this baby. It just happened. Don't worry, everything will be all right. You're a lucky man. She's a sweet, lovely girl. Take good care of her now. At home in Ibuza, Ofulue again asked Okonkwo to accept the bride price, and again Okonkwo refused to give his daughter to a slave. Then one day somebody, nobody knew who, took away the little doll from Okonkwo's hut. Okonkwo was terribly angry. He paid the medicine man a lot of money to make a new doll. This will bring Aku-nna home, he said. It will call her back in the wind. Chike's father came to Ueli to visit them and was very glad to see them so happy. When Chike was at work, Ofulue and Aku-nna talked and laughed together like old friends. But he always reminded her to rest so that she was fresh and happy when she welcomed Chike home from the office. When it was time for Ofulue to leave, Aku-nna cried on his shoulder. I hope I shall see you again, father. I know that my uncle Okonkwo does not want to accept my bride price. He hates me. He's calling me back. I hear his voice in the wind when I'm alone, but I'll never answer him. Oh, father, I don't want to die. Chike did not hear Aku-nna's words, but he knew she was crying. He came over and took her gently away from his father. After our baby is born, he told her, we shall all go home together and visit father. We'll all look forward to that. Aku-nna tried to smile as she waved goodbye to her father-in-law, but now she was frightened to be alone. Again and again, she heard her uncle's voice calling her, telling her to return to her family. She could no longer sleep. The doctor gave her sleeping tablets, but they did not help. Every night, she and Chike knelt down together and asked God to help them through this difficult time, but still Aku-nna could not rest. Sometimes she woke in the night crying. Hold me tight, she begged Chike. Hold me. My uncle is trying to take me away. Please don't let him get me. Don't be silly, said Chike gently. You don't really believe all that nonsense, do you? You're anxious and excited, that's all. Cheer up. Soon the baby will be here. Gently he rubbed her tight, swollen stomach, which looked so huge beside her thin, little arms and legs. They spent many nights like this. Then one night, Aku-nna suddenly screamed and lost consciousness. Chike examined her. The baby was coming, and at once he telephoned the doctor, who sent an ambulance at once. Chike watched anxiously while the ambulance men covered his wife with their horrible red blankets and lifted her into the ambulance. Then he sat beside her and held her hand. When the pains stabbed through her body, he felt them too. When she reached the hospital, the doctor told him the truth. She must have an operation, he said. The baby is small, but it will be all right. As Chike sat on the hard chair in the hospital waiting room, he remembered the shy little girl from Lagos. He remembered all their happy times, the day they brought their new bed, the day he received his first check from the oil company. He remembered their escape together, and tears poured down his face. Someone touched his shoulder. It was Nnamdi, who had ridden the 7 miles to the hospital on his bicycle to sit beside his brother-in-law. To Nnamdi, Chike was perfect. He loved him and was grateful to him for his little life in Ueli. He wanted to help Chike, but he did not know how. He held Chike's hands and cried. A doctor came in. "Mr. Ofulwe," he said, "please come with me." Chike followed like a sleepwalker, and the doctor said, "She has had the operation. She isn't conscious yet, but I'm afraid that she may never wake up at all. I'm sorry, we did everything we could, but she was very small and weak. I don't know how she stayed alive so long. I expect you to sit with her. She's in here." He pointed to a door. "By the way," he whispered, "you have a baby girl. She's small, but she's doing fine." Chike stared wordlessly at the doctor, then he went into the unnaturally clean white room. He was alone with Aku-nna. She was so beautiful and peaceful lying there. He took her small dry hand and held it. Aku-nna was dying. Chike called Nnamdi and the two of them sat there together. It was almost morning when Aku-nna's hand moved a little. There was a smile on her lips and she spoke softly but clearly. "I know you are here, my husband." Slowly she opened her eyes. They were very bright, too bright for this world. Nnamdi heard her voice and came nearer. "Don't worry, brother," she said. "This isn't the end of the road for you. It's the beginning. My husband will look after you. He's a good man and I thank God for him." Nnamdi began to cry. Then Aku-nna spoke to Chike. "Dear husband, be strong. Be happy for me." Her voice was very weak now. "Did we have a boy or a girl?" "A little girl," he whispered in her ear. Aku-nna's whole face shone with joy. "I told you so," she whispered. "I told you I wouldn't keep our love a secret. Now everybody will see our little girl, and they will know that our love will never die. Let's call her Joy too, the same name that we gave our marriage bed. Please, promise me you'll call her Joy. Then promise me that you'll be happy, because you have made me so happy. So..." Her eyes closed. Chike took her whole body in his arms and kissed her gently. "Good night, my love. Our child's name shall be Joy." She smiled again, a smile of unbelievable sweetness and beauty. Very softly and peacefully, she died. But he still held her gently, lovingly against his heart. The morning light grew stronger. The doctor came in. "It is time to go now," he said. "Your wife is at peace." "Our child shall be called Joy," repeated Chike. Afterwards, every girl in Ibuza was told the sad story of Aku-nna and Chike. If you want to live a long time, they were told, you must accept the husband that your people choose for you, and your bride price must be paid. If it is not paid, you will never survive the birth of your first child. Of course, that is all nonsense. Of course, a safe birth does not depend on a bride price. But even today, no girl wants to risk it.